We got a big star in the studio.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's Tipton, Missouri's own
Who's
David
coming
Koechner.
in? Hi, I got excited. I
To
thought
my left.
I couldn't believe who's coming. This is going to be
It's
nice.
you. God, surprise, it's you.
Where's the sauce? Where's it going to be? Is it going to be on the side?
I'll tell you
on the
what,
side
you can
every time.
ask them to put it in the calzone. They will tell you no and only put it on the side
Why?
because the sauce belongs on the side.
Wow, okay. All
That
right.
way
They're dug in on it, just
that
so you
way
know.
You control the sauce.
Okay. What if you get really insistent? I mean, if they're willing to put lettuce inside a calzone, here's the thing people don't realize, it's still cold. Iceberg
Yes.
inside, but not sauce.
No sauce. It's on
Gentle
the side.
ones,
It's on
how
the
are
side.
things?
Things
Things
are
are
great. And it's been
fantastic.
2
Awesome,
years
man.
since you've been here.
Uh-huh.
And Mr. Koechner, you know him from The Office. You know him from Anchorman. When you walk into a room, do people expect you to be the funniest?
Well, whatever their expectation is, when I leave, they realize I was.
No, man, you walk in a room, you light the place up. And do you feel like sometimes you have to be on?
I'm sure people often wish there was a switch. Just shut it off. Just be.
You're always on?
It depends on what, you can gauge what the expectation is. Obviously, if you're doing a show, you have an
Yes.
obligation to do something that's going to make them convulse.
But in your, when you're not on stage, you're not on TV, it's got to be tough. You've been in all these classic movies as the funny guy.
Uh-huh.
And you walk in a room and, all right, here's David Koechner's here, guys. Ready for laughs. Go.
All right, go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. I just think of it as like, let's have a good time.
Yeah.
So for me, if it's fun, then if funny happens, great. But if not, then let's just have a great conversation. I'm interested in both. If we want to do bits, let's do bits. But if we want to talk, we can talk. I'm available to present time awareness as
Right.
well.
Let's be natural.
I
Let's
feel
naturally-
myself connected to the earth and a golden cord to the heavens. Or whatever chord you particularly enjoy. It could be crimson red.
But let's naturally get there.
Okay.
Let's naturally get there.
All
Let's
right.
not force the issue.
We are now looking each other's eyes. And
I'm uncomfortable.
okay, wait, I got a split now. Okay, I'm watching both of you at the same time. Now I'm going back and forth. Now I seem shifty. I just stole something out of your pocket.
Where's my wristwatch? Damn it.
Thank you, sir. Aha. Magic on the radio. It doesn't translate
No.
No.
when you're doing magic.
No. Well, now we have, now we have cameras everywhere.
Ah,
Yep.
there we go.
Better watch it.
So
This
we
has
can
changed,
stream.
man.
Yeah.
This is a whole new ball game now.
My guess is a couple of years ago there was one person streaming the whole thing, and now you've got welcome to the machine. You have to pay for that.
Well, we had to take Jeff's cameras out of all the toilets around here.
That's right. Yeah.
They were positioned quite low. Quite low.
Just perspective,
I
that's
had
all.
to adjust a couple. I'm like, you're not getting anything from that angle. You
As
wanna-
a monthly subscriber, it was pretty good, though, wasn't it?
And I tell you what, the rates were good. It was nickels a month.
The automatic billing was convenient,
The
right?
automatic billing. What's this Venmo for? Who's charging 10 cents a month?
Well, I just want to let everybody know that David Koechner is at Helium Comedy Club this weekend. He got 2 shows tomorrow, 2 shows tonight as well.
Yes, it's Friday.
Yes, I forgot what day it is.
I did too.
7:30 and 10 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow 7:30 and 10 o'clock. And then you're home for Mother's Day on Sunday.
Uh-huh. Then I go back out. I'm going to go to Tampa, then Kansas City, then New York, then Columbus, Ohio, then Italy for 2 weeks. It's my wife and I are celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary.
Look at this guy here with a wife for 20
And
years.
romantic.
That's great, man.
I can't believe it. Honestly, we went to Greece for our honeymoon, so we're heading back to the same area, the Mediterranean. They lost our luggage on our honeymoon in Greece land, and hopefully that won't happen this time.
No.
We wore the same clothes for 5 days. That's a tough
Let's
start.
get in a good headspace, though, and let's not will that to happen.
No, exactly. You know what? It's interesting. It's not interesting, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. I remember what happened. We landed in Athens, and then we had to fly over to Santorini and the island of Ia. I believe, I forget what it is, but one of your listeners will correct us. And I remember when we landed and the bag, we had to switch planes at the airport, and I had a temptation, you talk about willing something, to push this bag onto the conveyor belt. There's
You
something
had
that's-
to do it.
and I didn't do it, and we didn't get our luggage for 5 days. Wow. So when your intuition tells you something, it's often correct.
You know,
Now, like I just said, it's not a great story. I ate up just a lot of airtime.
I've been no.
That's all we're trying to
my wife
do.
And I,
It's
my
okay.
wife and I have been doing this kind of visualizing things.
Yes.
Like you go to a crowded mall, you know, during Christmas season, and you know you circle around for parking spots, and we're now of the let's visualize a parking spot, and damn it, it works sometimes.
I do believe you can.
And don't tell me it's coincidence.
You can divine things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm starting to.
Yes. It's like when you've lost something, you say, St. Anthony, come around. I've lost something that needs to be found. I say it 3 times and always find it. I know I believe what it does is it releases your brain from the smaller constraint to a wider radar, and you're like, oh, there's my keys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That makes
it's
sense.
not coincidence.
Well, you
There's
let,
something to it.
it's just letting go and being presently minded. Now we're back to where we began. And present time awareness. And I'm
here we
staring at
are.
you again. And
Here we
by the
are.
way, why is it that no one in this studio wears clothes? This is the oddest thing. To
Because
get
you know
in
what?
here.
First of all, it's Friday.
Yeah,
That's true.
there you go.
Okay. Secondly, if you look around this place, we're the only ones here.
Aha.
Yeah,
So
I had to
it's-
turn the lights on.
It's only Fridays you're free balling.
Yes.
Okay.
We call it free ball on Friday.
Free ball
Except for Jeff,
Fridays.
who that's every day.
That is
Oh, I
every
see.
for me. Yeah, yeah.
And
How are you
today
gonna-
he's the only one wearing a sling. I don't know what you can say on the radio, so I'm trying to be again mindful.
He's wearing. Today is Friday. It's the genital clamp day.
Aha!
So what are you doing for your wife for Mother's Day? I mean, you got kids. What
Yeah.
are we doing? We going to brunch?
Am I obligated to do
Are you?
something?
I mean-
well, I'm coming back home with monies.
So that's her
Look at
gift.
the monies I'm giving you. You know what? She's taking the girls to a dude ranch. Today is Friday, so today and Saturday, and she'll come home in the afternoon on Sunday, which worked out conveniently for me because I'm coming back to.
Is that your gift to her? Is you coming home?
Boy, isn't
I'd
that
try
awful?
that.
You don't
I'd
want
try
that.
that.
Well, the gift also would be she gets to go to the dude ranch, which it's not free.
They don't just open up the doors and say, come on in?
Right, and I'm also taking her to Italy for 2 weeks. That's
that's
not
your-
free.
Yeah, but she's gonna go. Well, that's our honeymoon.
Yeah, well, it's also part of her birthday, which seems to be always ongoing.
huh?
Every month when I get the credit card bills, like, so is this still your birthday from 2 years ago?
Yeah. See, I go with the everyday's Mother's Day for you because I come home.
Oh,
And look at
isn't
this.
that Nice.
Look at this castle I built you.
Yes.
That doesn't
Daddy
fly.
said, yes, go do what you want, honey. It is tough, though, when we get in a situation where your wife kind of buys whatever she wants and you feel like, what can I give you? And all she wants is your time. You're like, well, that's the thing that's most expensive.
Because time is money.
Right. Well,
I getcha.
my selfishness is worth something.
I'm $2.50 an hour. So
Nice.
Wow,
Two-
that
two-
is
That's pretty impressive.
He means $2.50.
Still impressive.
Very good. Yeah, for him. Yeah.
At a bargain.
So Free Ball Friday, here we are, and I don't know. Can you say nut sling on the radio or not?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? You just
Wasn't sure
did. So.
because Bob here is wearing the nut sling. It's not Bob. I don't know names.
I
Hey,
think
we
it's
were,
Jeff, just in case
You
it
think
comes
it's
up.
Jeff?
Jeff.
Well,
yeah.
good. You're Jeff, and you're they're
Colin.
Lawrence, and that's
they're
Carl.
now resting on the counter. Hey, they're on my hand. Wow. This is a nice warm temperature.
It really
you.
is Friday.
Do I
Very
feel
good.
healthy to you?
Huh?
Do I feel healthy to you?
Yeah.
Cough.
Okay, good.
Oh, the left side's cold.
That's weird.
One's hot, one's cold.
Hey, are you? You being from Missouri, you're a Cardinal fan?
I am a Chiefs fan and a Royals fan. My
Well,
wife's
'cause
from
you're more
Kansas
towards
City.
the Kansas City side.
Yes,
Okay.
actually, we are 50 miles. Tipton is 50 miles closer to Kansas City than St. Louis.
Well, I was going to bring up Yadier Molina, our dear catcher. Did you see what happened to him?
I didn't. What happened?
104-mile-an-hour fastball to the undercarriage.
To the Free Ball
Immediately-
Friday.
Yeah.
Immediately to the hospital with a hematoma.
Wow.
A traumatic hematoma, as they called it. Emergency surgery.
4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody better ticket that pitcher, Lou. Wow, if that's what we're in for tonight,
He,
that would be bad
and,
news.
I mean, obviously, there's video of it, but it's a foul tip off the bat,
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it went, on
Down
a
and up?
fastball, and it went underneath, and it got where the cup was not.
Like the very tiny chance that it can get where the cup was not protecting, it got it.
I would think the trajectory of the ball from the ground upward, then catching the cup might be the thing that was worse.
Yeah, like the pinching or the
Thank
pushing
you.
back. Yeah. That's very possible.
you know
Either
what?
way, he
It
had
got full
surgery like
tank.
hours later, didn't he? Yeah.
You guys break it down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on
try
the
to.
FB Friday.
Uh-huh.
Talking about your balls and strikes. Hello.
Hey, you know,
Again.
when you're out and about, do people want to hear your catchphrases all the time? That's
Of
kinda
course.
get annoying.
Give me a whammy. And depending on where you are, you know, I'll say it, but I'll just say it. Right? If you're at the airport, like, give me a whammy. I'm like, a whammy. Like, oh, that wasn't very good. Yell it in an airport. And
Like,
then
that's a
seem
D effort.
It would seem really desperate, wouldn't it? Because then people would turn their heads and go, oh, that poor guy.
That's all he's
Still hanging
got.
on
That's
to
all
that.
he's got. He's hanging out at the airport.
Can't he live in present time awareness? No.
Still hanging
He
on
has
to that Anchorman thing. Oh, sad.
So rough.
I broke the rule. I saw you in an airport in L.A. right after the last time you were here,
Okay.
and I thought, oh, maybe it's been a short enough time where you remember my face and I'll say hi. And I broke the rule, man. I surprised you. You were kind of at the bar. You were finished, and I was going right to. I think we're going to the same gate. I go, oh, hey, David, hey, it's Moon from the Rizz Show, and I saw it in your face that I think you were expecting me to say whammy or do something like that, and you were like, oh man, hey man, good to see you, and I recognized what was happening. I went, okay, great, see you. And I bailed because I felt so bad.
You put
I
the
was
lure
like,
in the water.
I was
and
like,
he
what
was
did I
like,
do?
"Eh."
I was like, why am I bothering this man?
Well, I do. The thing is, I do meet a lot of people.
Oh
So
yeah, I know, of course, yeah.
you've got a gorgeous face. And might I say, your bottom half, young man,
Yes.
Yeah.
impressive.
For the most part, are people cool?
Yes, for the most part. I will tell you a story. A couple years ago, I went to a bar restaurant to have a lunch. I was in North Carolina, and I just wanted to sit and watch the finals. It was like now, it's June or something like that, and just watching some basketball. And I purposely positioned myself to be away from everybody, look at the television, and not be seen.
Yeah.
And you're by yourself, which makes it you're a little more open to intruders. And so the gentleman comes up and goes, I know who you are. I'm like, oh, great, hi, good to meet you. And he said, he was like something like, he was the brave one, like everybody was looking at you. I'm like, okay, well, that's great. It's fun to be looked at.
Hello.
Just having a burger and watching the game. Yeah. So what else you been in? And I'm like, now I have to do my resume too.
Yeah.
Man, it's on IMDb.
And he just wanted to show that he wasn't impressed. I'm like, I'm sitting here trying to eat. I'm not trying to impress you. But he was, I think, a bit upset that other people were looking and pointing. So he thought he'd just go over, stand there, make it worse.
Mr.
What else you
Anchorman
been
guy.
in? Well, and I told him. I know what he wants. I told him, I said, well, I've been in a lot of stuff, but I'm not gonna just
List credits.
list my credits. He goes, don't be embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not. You're being rude and you don't know it. You should be embarrassed, sir,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to call you out because then I the
There's
rule,
no self-awareness there.
no self-awareness. My general rule is don't give people a story.
Yes.
If you say, hi, good to meet you. You met him. How was it? He was nice. End of story. How was he? Kind of an a-hole. Really?
Yeah.
Then there's a story. So you don't want to leave people with a story. This nice undercarriage, Carl the undercarriage. It's could you say a handsome undercarriage?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
often,
absolutely.
People have good looking faces.
You
but,
can tell when somebody takes care of it.
Yeah.
well groomed,
Oh, yeah.
heavily lotioned.
Listen, even if you
A bit of a
even if you-
sheen.
There is a sheen.
Listen, even if you bought the guy a round of drinks
Yes.
and lunch, he'd still think you're an a-hole. So
Yeah, well, 'cause you know why? Because a negative story is always better, and
Than a positive one.
It doesn't matter what you do. 75% of, and this is a negative way to look at this, I know, but it feels like 75% of the people that meet people, they want to have a bad story because it goes farther, it lasts longer, it lives better in their neighbors and their friends' minds, and that's where they go with it. And it
Yes.
sucks, and it's kind of a lose-lose.
Yes, I was at a water park once, and I was with my family. And I always, with your family, you always kind of want to just like, hey, I'm with my
I'm with my
family. Can
kids.
we leave it alone? And this one guy kept coming up all day long, and I was with my family. I'm like, please, let's don't, because the thing is. And I have no ego about, look at me. But it does become, if someone starts taking a picture, as the current state we're in today, like, even if they don't know who you are, like, I want one. Like, they might not even know who you are, but if it seemed important to get a picture, they want one. So you just don't want it to start. And so this guy came up, and I said, if you don't mind, I'm with my family. And then someone later, he must have told his friends, they made a huge stink, like I was a big a-hole. Like, oh, look at Mr. Famous. I was just like, wow. We're
when you
here with our
Google,
kids.
it's funny, when you Google your name, it comes up David Koechner, Dick at Water Park.
That's right.
Yes.
Is that the one with
Yes.
the video? Yeah.
But again, get it back to Carl's undercarriage, not as good looking. I tell you, Carl's cup runneth over.
And it's cold in here.
Fill her up, Carl,
Tony-
fill him up.
Tony over here watched The Office from start to finish in
Yeah.
how long?
Probably maybe 3 weeks.
All right, in 3 weeks, front to back.
Was
We
it the
had
first time you'd seen it?
No.
Okay.
I watched it while it was on NBC, and then it's been enough time to where I was like, I'm going to revisit. And I went back, and just as good, if not even better, the second time.
Is this a show that could get remade?
Well, they are.
Oh, is that official?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it was a remake.
Well, yeah,
The British
series.
series. I do believe that NBC is considering redoing The Office. I don't think it's going to have the original cast.
Okay, see, and that's what I had said. I said you can't, and this is where this debate came up. Is so The Office was so good because of the cast, and I think that's why The Office on the British version was so good because of the cast. If you want to do The Office, you can't have that cast come back.
Right. No, they're doing everything again. So I agree with you. Unlike Will and Grace, you have to have Will and Grace.
Right.
And now we've got Murphy Brown coming back. Roseanne. It's kind of crazy.
But it could work, though, if it's another Office.
As if they all got hired somewhere
No,
else?
it's
Not
just-
the same
it just-
cast.
No, he's
not-
saying the same premise, just a different
Same premise, but
different
not
place to
Dunder
work.
Mifflin. It's another Office.
But I said that is true, but they did that, and it was called Parks and Rec.
That's what I said,
Yes.
too.
In a way. Yes. It's the same creator.
Right.
Greg Daniels.
Right.
But it wasn't as good because I wasn't on it.
That is very
yeah,
true.
but no,
Taking the
Parks
words
and
out of
Rec
my
was
mouth,
more behind the scenes kind of local government. But The Office is
But
an
it's
office.
it's a workplace comedy.
But if they did maybe even call it another Office, I don't know.
Yeah, down the street, down the hall. But it should be all about Todd Packer.
I agree.
I agree with that as well.
Maybe Todd Packer's Office. that's what
Nice.
we'll
That
call
would be a horror show.
You
but-
already got your own sitcom.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
Well, you're
it's
talking about Superior Donuts Monday
yeah.
nights at 8 o'clock
Right.
locally. Yeah,
Stop being so greedy.
right. I want
Also
all
on
of it.
Google.
We still don't know if we're picked up for next year on CBS Monday nights. If we didn't mention that before, go ahead and DVR that.
And now's
because
the
we
time
get,
where the network is
we will
starting to
know
come
by
out.
next Tuesday. Yeah, so we're hopeful.
God, what are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. My guts
It's a great
say
show.
yes. Carl's undercarriage, it's pointing yes. Carl's under is like that magic 8-ball. If you look,
All
shake it?
signs point to yes.
Shake it?
shake it, shake hands with it, make friends with it.
Just don't look it in the eye.
Well, because now we just
No.
found out Brooklyn Nine-Nine canceled.
Yeah, well,
Last Man on Earth canceled.
Yeah, those both had 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 4 and 5. Yeah.
Well, none of those people will ever want for work. They're all super talented.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So they may have been ready to go on anyway. I don't know, but it's always tough. Anytime when your job's gone, you're like, I liked having a job.
Yeah, but you'll always be good, man. You're an
Thank
everything.
you. Yeah. Well, there's a law.
Yeah, that you
Yeah,
have to be.
a lot of people call it a penalty. Why is he in it?
I mean, you got so many credits under the belt.
I do. I'm very fortunate.
I'd like you to list all of them right now. Go.
Okay,
Go.
starting in all right, my first TV job was Saturday Night Live,
Yes.
1995. My second job, I did a Freaks and Geeks early. I played a waiter. Third job.
Then we go on.
We're for real
Yeah,
doing
we
this?
could
We're
go
doing
on.
this.
Go on
right now.
I will tell you, I think it was Dill Scallion, which is a movie that was nearly great. But no, you know what? And that's saying something. It's one of those things that was underfunded. So Jordan Brady, who I still am friends with to this day, couldn't quite make his entire vision. Third job was, let's see, I was in, darn it, Wag the Dog.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Great movie.
We're now 1997, I believe.
And still working, this guy.
Still working.
Unbelievable.
This is going to be, how long is your show? It's just going to be me anxiously stumbling around trying to remember my credits.
Well, I do appreciate the work you do.
But I will say that's where I met Harlan Williams the first time. Was on the set of Wag the Dog. Love Harlan. You know Harlan.
Yeah. Oh,
hey,
yeah.
guy, how's it going? I do one of the best Harlan Williams in the business.
I thought
I thought it was here right
guy.
now.
Yeah, it is him.
I do a thing with Harlan. I've got a thread going back about 6 years of texts, and I've never deleted any of them. I want to make it a coffee table book of just ridiculous texts from Harlan and I. It'll just be random. Harlan will text me things like, "Hey guy, woke up to a lot of sand in my bed. What gives?" Just out of nowhere. Just random.
Out of context.
Out of context.
Huh. Harlan Williams, you know him from
he's
Half-Baked.
Half-Baked was a great character.
He just created a kids show on Disney Junior called Puppy Dog Pals.
Yeah, his
Right.
stand-up
right,
is awesome too. I think he has a couple records out.
I had him in here years ago.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, very funny. Though Canadian, and we're still in that war.
Mm-hmm.
Did the War of 1812 ever end?
No.
You know,
Somebody's still fighting it.
People say they want to build a wall. I say, yeah, wrong border. Those dirty,
He does always say
sneaky Canadians. That's where the
They're
trouble
getting
is.
in and taking our jobs, right?
right.
Yes,
Thank
they
you.
are.
Thank you.
They are.
Guess what? There's oil up there, and you know how Americans love oil. We will invade.
Love it.
We will invade.
And we will take what's ours.
Tar sands my what? My Carl undercarriage. Nice sheen.
Just wait till the Marines land in Saskatoon.
There you go.
Telling you right
Oh,
now.
man.
They will give up, and we'll burn down their White House. Now, if you're a fan of history, you'd get that joke.
I do.
You do, of course.
Because I'm a fan
In
of history.
1814, took a little trip. All right, now you have to pay for that, too.
All right. I'm out of cash. David Koechner is at Helium. He's got 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. What else are we promoting?
Superior Donuts.
Superior Donuts. Watch him.
Donuts. Bring it back.
And no matter what anybody says, this guy's a nice guy.
That's right.
Hey-ho.
No matter what the guy at the water park thinks. Mr. David Koechner, everybody. See him at Helium. Thank you, sir.
The Rizzuto Show.